Let's be brutally honest right now. That's a big question.
I'm looking for someone who doesn't want to go to base camp, but they want to go to the very top.
Whether it's here, India, New York.
Civilization was born at happy hour.
That's what wins. That's what stands out. That's what people are interested in. That's what I want to know. The Hospopreneurs Podcast with James Henderson.
Hello and welcome back to the Hospopreneurs Podcast. After their recent $3.6 million capital raise backed by Invest South and Mainland angel investors, the New Zealand-based First Table is armed to rapidly expand. My guest today, Chris Bradley, known to many as Squid, is the brand's Australasian business development manager. He carries similar experience from GrabOne, BookMe, and Everything Travel Group. We explore his journey with the business, vision, challenges, and exciting prospects in the ever-changing industry that is hospitality technology. Our supporting brand Plant Array are currently hosting Tropical Month to foster and celebrate a global hospitality community. Hello and welcome to the show, Chris.
Hi, James. How are you? It's great to be here.
Very well. Not many people ask me how I am at the very beginning of the episode, so thank you. I'm very well. Great to see you. Great to be here in person with you in Melbourne. Chris, as you know, the first question that I like to ask on the program is a crazy hospitality story or exceptional hospitality experience. I'd love to know what you've brought to the program today.
Yeah, I knew this was coming, and even when you know it's coming, it's even harder. But I guess growing up in hospo and tourism since I was 16, I've got a ton of stories, but I guess probably a lot of them are inappropriate or can't share with you. But one I'd like to share is, I guess, a memorable experience is actually coming about 2 years ago, coming off the back of COVID. It came off the back of COVID. I think it was the second or third lockdown in New Zealand, and I went out to lunch with some friends, and they were all telling me about how they're going to do dry July, and one was discussing how they're going to stay and have smoothies for a month. And, you know, I sat back, I kind of thought, fuck that. I don't know if I can swear and apologise for that.
You can. It'll be an explicit episode.
Yeah, I thought, how the hell is that going to help the industry? And obviously I'm dealing with operators every day who are just pleading for people to get out and about back in venues. So I kind of sat there and didn't say much at the time. I went home and I woke up in the morning and I thought, sometimes in my head there's a few screws loose in a good way. And I woke up and thought, no, stuff my friends. I'm going to go out and do 30 days traveling New Zealand and eating and drinking at as many venues as I can.
Because they said they wanted to do dry July.
Yeah, so I'm not meaning drinking excessively. I just wanted to eat and drink at as many venues, show as much support for the industry. And I guess I grew up in hospo. I was lucky enough to kind of work myself up some ranks and just very lucky to own and run a couple of venues.
And did this happen before you owned those venues or?
No, this was after. So I actually owned those venues and actually sold them before COVID, a year and 2 years before COVID. So I kind of woke up and thought, no, it's a time to give back. Away I went. I told a few friends. I definitely didn't tell the wife. And I travelled the country, obviously.
Your wife was asking where you were or what?
No, I was away for work. But I didn't tell her that I was going to eat and drink at every venue I could throughout the country.
Okay.
So yeah, travelled around and away I went. I did it for a month and at the end of it, it was incredible. I tallied up, I kept every receipt. I visited 57 bars and restaurants in 30 days. I clocked up about $3,200 on my own account. That's why I didn't want to tell the wife. She was wondering what the expenses were. And I put on about 8 or 9 kgs. So I remember going from 90 to 98. I actually haven't recovered from that, but it was great. And I actually posted my experience on LinkedIn or Facebook. I think it was LinkedIn, wrote down all the bars and restaurants and tagged them all. And it was awesome. And I got a lot of support, a lot of high fives and a lot of good banter from people in the industry and friends. So I think that's a memorable experience. And I just felt really good at the end of it. And I felt like I gave back to a lot of people that needed it, you know?
That is definitely a crazy experience. Tell me, what was it that really made you want to do that? You said some screws loose in a good way. What are you talking about?
I guess I was very lucky to exit the venues at a good time. And I guess that really did set me and my family up for life. And I used to not tell anyone. I used to keep it all under the wraps. And people said, no, share your experiences. And it's not a bad thing to say you were successful in the game. So I just felt like, yeah, it was just my time to go and spend a bit of money and eat and drink. And the operators that I saw on Facebook that said, hey, please come in and support us. I was there. And if I was in the area, I'd go and support them.
Very good. Sounds like you did a great job and you enjoyed yourself in the process and haven't been able to quite work off the success afterwards.
Yeah, well, the wife's a yoga and Pilates instructor, so that didn't go down well when she saw me clocking up the weight, but that was all right. All part of the fun, right?
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for sharing your crazy hospitality story. Chris, I'd like to know a little bit more about why you do what you do. So the second question that I often get into is a bit more lateral. I try to understand a bit about the philosophy of the guest on the show. I'd like to understand ultimately what it is that really sits behind the things that you do, what it is that really inspires you.
Yeah, I guess there's two things. I've always been in hospo, but also tourism, and I've loved to travel at the same time. And I'm just passionate about going out and about. If you were to talk to family or friends or people that know me, I go out and about a lot. I love going into all the different restaurants, the great new ones, but also the little Thai place on the corner. So I'm just passionate about experiencing new experiences, trying new cuisine, and just, heading out and about.
What is it that makes you want to do that?
I guess it's just the unknown. I'm just an explorer. I grew up with a family in Dunedin and we didn't go on holiday. We didn't have a lot behind us. When I had the chance and I could get to that stage, I just wanted to get out and about, explore and just check out places. I'm not very good at sitting still. You've tied me to the chair here so I don't move too much.
We're stuck here today.
Side the microphone, but I'm not very good at sitting still and I just love getting out and about and checking out new venues. And I guess the second one is why I do what I do is the second bit of that is I took on the role with First Table because I guess I want to share this passion and I guess I want to help the awesome team of First Table who is growing this restaurant and bar exploring platform throughout the world. I want to help them grow their pages, grow their experiences they can share with their customers. Sharing experiences, I guess going out and about and checking out venues, it's more than just visiting the venue. It's the experience, it's the taste, the look, the feel, everything about that experience. And it was great when I listened to your podcast from Sven from the Speakeasy Group. And he was also saying, look, hospitality's, it's not just walking in, having a beer or some food or a beer. It's actually the experience. It's the feel. It's the energy of the people. And I guess that's what drives me to grow this platform is just share all these different experiences. It could be the Thai restaurant down the road with the elephant that's sitting on the shelf that's 300 years old, from the grandmother, or the Italian chef that's up at 3 a.m. with his cousin's recipe, kneading the dough. Or a couple of weeks ago, I actually loaded a champagne lounge that serves hot dogs. So a hot dog and champagne experience, which is kind of different.
That is different indeed. Where are they based?
Based in Christchurch, New Zealand.
I'm going to have a trip over there soon.
Yes, I'm very lucky throughout New Zealand and Australia. I get to look at all these experiences, learn about them, load the pages and put them up onto our platform. And it just is so much more than having a beer and eating some food.
How has your experience running and owning venues affected the way that you do business now?
It's made me more determined. And what I mean by that is running my own venues, you're passionate about your own venue, you're passionate about your own menu and running, I guess, the Pig and Whistle in Queenstown or Bar Up, which was a cocktail lounge and we served world-class cocktails. It's made me more passionate to actually understand what is behind the venue, how they created their menu, what their motivation for their venue is. And I guess I do take the time with every client I meet now just to learn a bit more about, obviously they show me their menu and their drinks, but what are you here for? Some are actually just out there supporting their families and some obviously have this dream to showcase a venue that from across the world. So I guess it makes me more passionate and more patient to learn about each individual venue so we can showcase it in the right way and get our team to write the bios in the right way and just so it comes across as a great place to explore.
This might be a good opportunity to talk about what First Table is for listeners who've never heard of First Table.
That's a good one. First Table, I guess we're a restaurant and bar exploring platform. We're encouraging people to get off the couch, firstly, get out and about and explore new venues they haven't been to. And how we do that is we use a little early bird special, an early bird teaser, as in the name of the first table of the night. So we actually open in 50 cities in 6 countries now. And we started 9 years ago out of New Zealand. So we've grown to New Zealand, Australia, London, Bali, Vancouver, Ireland. Probably missed some, but
you get to go to some pretty cool places then.
You get to go to some amazing places.
And you did a capital raise recently?
We did a capital raise, probably 3 or 4 months ago. We raised 3.6 million. It's all public information. We raised half of that to mum and dad investors, so bar and restaurant owners throughout New Zealand. We were lucky enough to buy in, and we just really appreciate the support. It's great to have the money, but the feedback and the ideas that came from that has probably been game changing for us. And the second half was through, I guess, investment groups in New Zealand. So
any investment groups that you can mention?
Yeah, we had an investment group called Invest South from Invercargill, New Zealand. They've followed our whole journey from, I guess, day one. Love what we do and are really impressed with some of the new products we're bringing to market. We've got a few new exciting products coming out. We're just rolling those out throughout New Zealand and into Australia. So regular table bookings. So we'll be able to bring some full price bookings along with some early bird specials coming up. And we've also got frequent foodies. So we'll just be able to reward some of our loyal customers. We've got over 1 million subscribers now. We'll be able to reward them with some more exciting places to experience, if they're doing a few more bookings for us.
And is that what the raise was predominantly going to be doing, like servicing?
Yeah, the raise was kind of a number of things. It was obviously to expand First Table around the world, really consolidate some of the markets we're in, grow those. I mean, there's huge growth potential in Australia and London. Where do you start? So we've got the new products rolling out, and I just want to mention some key things about First Table and what First Table actually does to help support venues. The 4 core fundamentals of First Table. The first is filling the first table of the night. Obviously, no one likes walking into an empty venue. So filling that one table at 5 o'clock, pop them in the window or beside the bar, instantly it creates some atmosphere. People see people walk in the door. And if people are walking past, no one's going to walk into an empty restaurant. It also gets some food out and about, some smell of food, some drinks on the table, and just creating atmosphere and kickstarting the night. I know it's a very simple thing, but it's always a challenge for restaurants and bars to generally get the night started. The second thing is we work with venues to increase their digital marketing reach. So we set up some pages, takes about 24 hours. We can have a page proof. And the key bits to the pages, we use their photos, their title, but we have multiple links to their Instagram, Facebook and website and multiple positions. And even on the First Table app, it's always pointing you to the website or their direct addresses. Once we've got that set up, we actually drop it into our high traffic portals. So Melbourne, we'll pop it online. We'll send out 50,000-ish emails to all our subscribers here. We'll be Facebooking or we'll be Instagramming it. So when people are coming to the pages, we're just encouraging them that, hey, they can also click through to your page. And it's a big part of what we do. There's a lot of other sites will redirect you away to another platform. We're wanting to showcase and show restaurants that we can work to drive direct traffic to them. The third thing is we work behind the scenes to grow the restaurant's reviews and content into Google. So 24 hours after a customer's actually dined, we send them an email saying, how was your experience? Have you had a good night? They'll write a great review. We pop that on the First Table page. But most importantly, when we pop it online, we tag the restaurant's name in. It appears on their Google Knowledge panel and it counts as fresh content for the restaurant. And a big thing restaurants and bars forget about or struggle with is just constantly getting fresh content into Google. So that's another thing we help them with. And the fourth thing we help them with is database collection. So every 4 or 5 weeks, we actually send each restaurant or bar the phone numbers and emails of the customers that are booked. Now, the customers actually have to opt into that. We have a very high opt-in rate when they subscribe. So we work with the restaurants, we provide this information, and they can remarket functions or birthdays or anything to these customers. So they're kind of the 4 key things we do.
How did you actually come to do what you do with First Table now?
Yeah, it was off the back of, with COVID, obviously everything closed down. I was in a position where I just come out of hospitality.
You mentioned you sold your businesses.
Yeah, sold the businesses and moved on and actually went gardening for a bit. I bumped into the founder in the street, Matt, the founder of First Table, and I'd actually known him since before he started First Table. Not well, but I had met him in the early days before he started. I admired what he did, but also I had used him when I was running the bars and restaurants. We had used First Table at them and it was really successful for us. So I was very passionate that I felt like he had actually helped me in part of my journey. So bumped into him in the street and he said, we've got the team all together in the Queenstown, New Zealand office, which is the head office. And he said, would you mind coming along and just giving them a half-hour talk on your experience in hospo and I guess what First Table meant to you as an owner and operator. So I said, sure. So we went along, half an hour turned into 4 hours. I was still there later. And I guess we just got talking about the values of their business and ways we could change simple things so venues got more out of First Table. Because it is a simple concept, but we've done it pretty well. So yeah, off the back of that, shared my stories, learn about the team, learn about their vision. I saw how hard they're working and he asked me to start helping him a day a week. And about a week later, I was full-time with him. And next minute, I'm on the road 1 week out of 3, traveling around, resetting up, because obviously we were at ground zero too. So resetting up his areas and ringing bars and restaurants and seeing which ones had survived and just working with them to get them back on board and also get some new people back in the doors for them.
Good timing as well, I guess. I mean, it was 9 years ago that he started it, but you said so ground zero there as well. Talk me through where the business was at when you started working with First Table.
Yeah, I think, we might have had 200 venues across New Zealand and Australia live.
This is already rolling.
It was already slowly back off rolling with COVID, but one thing Matt made the decision was not to push operators. So he wasn't contacting them saying, hey, you're back open. It's just not a time. He just wanted to be patient and let them contact him. So they slowly started coming in, and then we just slowly started doing some soft releases to see if we could help them or just more take their feedback on what we could build to come back as a better platform.
What came about from that experience? What sort of feedback did you hear?
There's a number of things we changed from that. So a lot of the feedback venues were like, we love First Table, how do we get more direct marketing? So this is where Matt changed actually the platform to add in more direct links to their own Facebook website and Instagram. He made the decision to make the data a lot more accessible so they could download it any time and start remarketing. So a lot of good things that were all based on feedback from venues. They wanted more direct traffic. They wanted to learn more about data and how they could do that. So I guess we took on board that feedback. We changed a lot of things very fast. Obviously, we had a tech team that wasn't doing a lot. So we were able to put those changes in place, and then we went back out to market, and I guess First Table 2.0, you could call it, improved, and it's gone really well since then.
On the note of feedback, learnings, this period of time. So what are you learning about or exploring at the moment? What is it that you're looking at to expand your own knowledge?
What I'm learning, I'm obviously traveling around meeting a lot of venues, but at the same time, we've just hired a number of sales staff throughout Australasia, and I'm training them.
That'll be new to you?
It is new, yeah. I'm not a natural trainer. I'm going to say a Richie McCaw. I don't know if you know who Richie McCaw is.
I don't know Richie McCaw.
So a very famous All Black, and he was just get out there and do the hard yards and visit venues and learn about them and educate them what we do and see if they'll work with us. But I'm learning a lot more. The industry is changing. Data's key. How people are marketing's changing. So I'm just trying to take on board all of that, pass back to the team and see how we can continually change this platform and still keeping it, First Table's a very simple concept done well. So we want to continue to do that, but just trying to learn as much as I can from the venues, and the more the ones that don't want to work with us, just why they don't want to work with us or what they don't enjoy about our platform so we can improve on and learn from that.
What sort of data can you actually get that might surprise venues?
Some of the data we can give them, we ask every customer if they've been into that venue in the last year. If they tick no, we class them as a new customer. So 3 or 4 things we can give each venue. We can give them their new customer rate. So, over the course of 6 months, we might give them 80% of the tables we're bringing in are new customers, which they absolutely love. We can give them how many page views they've got. We can give them the phone numbers and emails of the customers. We can also kind of hone in on how many page views each region, the Melbourne page or the Sydney pages get. So we want to give them some simple data so they can look at that and build from that.
Thanks for sharing that, Chris. What sort of data can you not currently get that you'd like to?
I would like to get the sales information. So these tables come in, they eat, they drink. There is a food discount, a discount just on the food. I would like to get exactly what food they're buying, the total spend on the food and the total spend on the drinks. So at the moment, we go back to venues after 4 or 5 weeks. They'll actually manually pull this from the till. They'll have a look at the food and drink sales. We'll give them the click-ins, the new customers rates, the data. Then we let each venue analyze that. And 99% of venues after 4 or 5 weeks are more than happy with what they do. And they actually want to give us more tables, more times, more days and grow a relationship. But yeah, if there's one thing I would like, it's actually to pull all that data straight through so I can provide them a case study of the spends and also data.
We may very well have some listeners who have platforms that do those sorts of things. So there could be someone out there who might, if you want to reach out to Chris, get in touch and I'll connect you up. Chris, I'd like to take it in a different direction. I'd like to understand a little bit more around creativity. So I often ask around this topic of creativity, how you play with ideas within your business, and obviously your role being very commercially driven, you're playing with a lot of ideas, not necessarily in the product, but how you execute the marketing of that product and the sales of that product. So how do you work through that creative process to sell First Table?
It's an interesting one. So when a venue comes on board, it's really important. We have no commissions, no contracts, no fixed terms. So it's very attractive for a venue. We just ask them to kind of give us 4 weeks to prove our worth. When a venue comes on board, we load a page up, we get their approval. First thing we do is we send an EDM out to the entire database in that area, all about them, their location, their menu, just showcasing what they do. We Facebook, we Instagram them. So they get a nice big marketing push to start off with. After that, we start to form partnerships where we can do extra work with the marketing team. So extra Instagram, Facebook pushes. We've got a First Table online magazine. We can write articles, which helps the SEO. So we've got that initial kind of marketing push, and then we grow our relationship to see what else we can help them out with. In terms of me being on the field, the marketing teams always love the sales guys. We're throwing ideas at them. Can you do this? Can you do that? And they're kind of saying, hang on, we've got limited resources.
I think everyone says that.
Yeah, we work really close with the team. We're all good friends, and we've all got the common goal to try and help grow that venue and help get their name out there to some new customers.
Thanks for that, Chris. In the industry that you're in, you're obviously in hospitality tech. You're seeing a lot of things happen. You're on the ground. You're talking to operators. What are you seeing in the industry that's innovative, that is inherently innovative, that's changing the way that hospitality operates? Are you seeing things other than obviously your platform? What are you seeing that is happening out there?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think data is becoming key. Your table ordering systems are definitely growing, and the Mr. Yums of the world seem to be doing a great job with what they do. I think booking systems are becoming even more important to keep the process nice and smooth, and also marketing platforms and platforms like ours that are bringing new customers in. If you've got a booking system, it just makes it seamless. So I guess I'm just excited by some of the tech coming in, and we're just working out behind the scenes how we can integrate with as much as possible to help both parties grow.
What brands out there do you look to model your growth?
Yeah, one company that I admire and I like what they do, I guess it is Mr. Yum. They've obviously got the table ordering system, but they're heading out with all the different verticals. And it's making it very easy for operators to have 3 or 4 different systems installed at the same time and all linking into each other. And I would love to work harder at that behind the scenes with First Table for sure.
And you can see that sort of mentality in your business with how things are. Obviously, like you just described before, you're going to start getting into table bookings as well. Not just the first table, but it's your foot in the door for another product, right? And so I can see that becoming a one-stop shop is sort of possibly on the roadmap.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess we've got a lot of traffic, a lot of subscribers, and when they come into the pages, we might just have one table at 5 o'clock, and they've always been asking, can we just not book a 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock full price? So we're building those systems to make it nice and easy for them, but also we're very aware a big thing of First Table, we don't want to step on anyone else's toes. You know, we're out on the side, we're a marketing partner, and as a restaurant or bar, you need 5 or 10 different marketing partners. We're just a little piece of the puzzle that is working to get some customers. Obviously, the First Table is also working to get some full price customers through the doors. So yeah, we want to work harder at offering a bit more value in a few different areas.
So what are you doing to learn along the way? What resources are you absorbing? You know, podcasts, YouTube videos, books. What is it that you look to for industry information for you to learn and grow?
We just love to sit down with the operators that work with us and just ask them what else we could do to support them. We've got access to a lot of people. We just want to find out what more we could do to help them out. I think that's it. I'm not listening to as many podcasts as I should, but now I'm hooked on your stuff, so I'm probably going to listen to a lot more. But yeah, I think asking the venues that work with us, but more importantly, we'll visit a lot of venues and they say it's not for us right now. Just listening to why it's not for them right now so we can make some changes so they want to work with us.
Chris, there's a question that I ask in every episode, and I always preface the question by saying that I define this broadly. It simplifies the question too much in the first iteration that I always ask it. But the question is, what's your biggest challenge right now? I'm seeking to understand where you are experiencing friction.
First Table, we're a restaurant exploring platform, and we use one table only a night at 50% off their food to kind of lure in those new customers for the venue. And on that table, the customers must purchase a full price drink, and we can exclude other things to make sure it's actually working well on that one table for the venue. The challenge we have and where we're experiencing friction, and this is why I'm so passionate about First Table, is there's been a lot of platforms come throughout the world that offer deals and discounts and specials, and they've come through, flown in from all over the world, and they've really upset the industry. They've promised the world, they've come in and asking for hundreds of seats a week, and they're kind of volume and they're ruthless. And I've been on the other side of that when I used to run the venues. I've had some bad experiences. I'm not going to name the sites where they've really locked me into contracts. And the biggest challenge we have is those sites have given early bird specials or deals or discounts a bad name. So when we call up venues, they say, you're just another one of those. Now, we're not. We've been here for 9 years. We've slowly, consistently grown year on year. We don't rush into things, and we form partnerships that last for life with these venues. So our biggest challenge is just getting to the venue owners or the decision makers and just explaining that we're only after one table a day, one early bird special a table a day. And if you can't do that one table well and then convert them back into full price customers and use their data correctly, why would you do 5 or 10 tables a day? So our biggest challenge is just educating people that we're not another one of those platforms. We actually care. We've got a team that cares, a marketing team that cares, and we want to slowly grow and help venues.
How are you going about doing that?
It is hard getting in the doors of venue owners. So it's door knocking, it's emails, it's phone calls, it's attending hospitality events and just showing support to the industry.
Just being there.
Just being there. And yeah, I think we've got 1,500 venues live working with us right now. And not a single one of them is on a contract or locked into commissions or anything. So the best testimonial we have is the venues that work with us, it works for them. They're getting great results. They're happy with our marketing. They're seeing new customers through the door. So I think just sharing those stories and using those testimonials from the venues that like us is the best thing we can do to grow.
I guess it's a good sign there that your business has raised a significant amount of money recently too, that investors have seen that your customers appear to be loyal and they're willing to put their money down to invest in you guys. So I think that does speak volumes on your customers and the work that you're doing to retain them. So yeah, that resonates with me at least. But I don't know, I've not dealt with you guys as a customer before, but it sounds like you're doing some great work. So cheers to you guys for doing that.
Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, we're just working hard and doing what we do.
I have one last question for you today on the program, and that's who would you like to hear on the show?
I would like to hear from maybe some more POS providers. I love hearing who they're integrating with and some of the new stuff coming out there. So I'd love to learn more about that and hear from some of them actually. And maybe they might give us a call.
I may very well have a couple that have already been on the show or coming up. So I'll swing you a couple of episodes.
Cool. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and thank you for inviting us. It's great to be talking about First Table and meeting you face to face.
Of course. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
This program was produced by H Media. We'll see you soon.